and welcome to New York City. We are officially here for Fight Week in what promises to be an incredible and historic night under the bright lights of the city that never sleeps. It's the Grand Arrivals, and we are live in the Manhattan Center where all of our fighters are about to come face to face to settle their differences. The fight is on Friday, May 2nd, but today we got the Grand Arrivals. It's coming up next. See you soon.
Square will be center stage for the return of Ryan Garcia as he headlines against the hard-hitting Romero on a star-studded card which includes Devin Haney facing Jose Ramirez in a hot-tempered feud between Teofimo Lopez and Arnold Barboza Jr., who square off for the WBO Super Lightweight Championship. Folks, we are in the beautiful Manhattan Center for the Grand Arrivals for Garcia versus Romero here in New York, New York. My name is Wade Flemings, and I'm alongside two of boxing's best aficionados, and quite frankly, two men that they said they would give me the key to the city, being New Yorkers. It's my first time here. Appreciate you, gentlemen.
You're not officially welcome. You have to walk you through Marcy Projects, maybe a little stroll through Brownsville, get you a slice of pizza or something.
Hold on a second. Don't let it take you to Brownsville, man. I heard stories. Mike Tyson told us about Brownsville. But, gentlemen, what a card we have. This is one of the most insane things I think I've ever seen in my life. Times Square, just give me your thoughts.
Look, they could have gotten away with any matchups, just the fact that they're making this fight, and it's a historic venue of Times Square, right? Anybody can afford, but they have legitimate, real competitive fights where any guy can win on Friday night. I love this card.
Everybody has a dream to fight venues. You call this a venue. First of all, we're on the street. Everybody has a dream to fight Madison Square Garden, all these other places. But who doesn't remember their first, no matter what it is? Who don't remember their first? You get to actually be the first to fight on Times Square soil. That's crazy.
It's incredible, and like I said, it is a stacked card, ladies and gentlemen, from top to bottom. Of course, that main event, like you guys have already seen, Ryan Garcia taking on Romero for the WBA regular welterweight championship. We'll talk about that in a second. Devin Haney taking on Jose Ramirez at welterweight. Teofimo Lopez and Arnold Barboza Jr. squaring off for not only the Ring Magazine, but the WBO Super Lightweight Championship. And a debut of a highly touted prospect, Rito Susumi, is coming all the way over from Japan to take on LaVell Whittington in a featherweight contest. And then, boys, this one's, I like this one. This one's giving back to the city. A battle of the badness as the New York Fire Department takes on the New York Police Department. James Garani versus Joel Allen in a 3-round light heavyweight matchup. Guys, the main event, we have to talk about it. Ryan Garcia makes his return after a year plus off versus Rolly Romero. Talk to me about your thoughts, man.
Look, he's facing adversity because of the criticism, because of the positive test. But not only that, Rolly Romero has been haunting him for a while. Look, some of you might not know, there's footage out there, some sparring session that happened 6, 7 years ago, but it appears that Rolly got the better of Ryan. Now, Ryan was a lot younger, but psychologically, that could possibly affect Ryan in the back of his mind because of this footage. I mean, Rolly seemed like he was a stronger guy in that ring. Obviously, Ryan, and Ryan has gotten way better than, a lot stronger, and is more comfortable in big fights. But Rolly has that X factor where he can punch. He can end a fight at any time.
I think Ryan is right about what he said. He said, you used to be bigger than me. If you look at this right here, Rolly looks bigger. Rolly looks like a bigger guy, the bigger frame. He's thicker, big legs. He gave it to Ryan. Ryan needs to prove him wrong now. So that's one thing he needs to prove, that I'm a man now, and I'm actually bigger than you. I'm looking down at you. I'm bigger than you. But he also wants to show us that that guy that you saw before that was drinking, smoking, and doing all of that, that guy is buried. I'm new now, and I'm going to take over.
We've seen the betting odds for this fight. It's been pretty lopsided to Ryan Garcia. A lot of the stories been about Ryan Garcia, his return, potentially a rematch with Devin Haney coming up if he should get this win. But we're talking about Rolly outside of you two because you are the boxing aficionado. So, Brock, talk to me. Why is Rolly so dangerous?
Power. When you're watching somebody like Deontay Wilder, he could be getting outboxed. As soon as he throw the right hand, you're like, whoa. You're on the edge of your seat, man. You don't know what's going on. That's how Rolly hits. He hits extremely hard, but we're moving up in weight. Who knows? That's the thing. That's the unknown right there. Is he going to have that power at this weight?
Look, we know, when he fought Tank Davis, Rolly had to see how carefully Tank Davis tried to dissect Rolly because he knew how dangerous it was. And not only in the first round, not in the second. So throughout the fight, Ryan needs to be careful and methodical about how he approaches Rolly.
I do think that Tank fight was such a massive factor for both fighters. Let's talk about the Tank fight for Ryan Garcia as well.
Right.
Tank was able to put Ryan in a position we haven't seen him in before, and off of that, Ryan had to evolve, and honestly, he had to move up in weight. Same with Broly. Both guys used to fight lower. Now they're bigger. How much of a factor is that this is a welterweight?
Well, I mean, first, just to go back to that fight weight, I mean, it's obvious that Ryan wasn't at a comfortable weight. He fought at 135, and there was a hydration clause. It was smart on Tank's team's part, no doubt. But it didn't seem like the same Ryan Garcia that fought Devin Haney, so obviously he's at a comfortable weight now. Rolly didn't seem like he had trouble at that weight class, making that weight to fight Tank. I think that in this situation, at this weight class, Ryan had the advantage.
What it did was it made Ryan Garcia a pay-per-view star. Basically, that was there was no other fight bigger than that.
Right.
You might have more important fights in the sport of boxing, but there was no fight bigger than that. So it made them both more knowledgeable to the fight fans, even Rolly.
Well, Barack, let's talk about, Ryan as a pay-per-view star. His last pay-per-view, him, Devin Haney. The world watched. It was chaos unfolding right here in New York. He might have a chance to fight Devin Haney again, but both men took some damage in that first fight, and Ryan obviously delivered more of it. Controversy abound, but when we go back and look at that fight, what are our thoughts?
Well, I mean, to your point, controversy aside, when you look at the matchup, right, Ryan was beating him to the punch often in that fight, especially with that left hook. So Devin's going to have to do some serious homework, and I know he has watched this fight tons of times, but it seems like stylistically, Ryan not has his number, but for that night he did. There's going to have to be some changes on Devin's side.
It's bigger than that. First of all, you can't put the controversy aside. You just can't, and that's what adds to everything. That's why right now Haney is locked in. He came to camp in shape because of that controversy. That controversy probably keeps him up at night. And Ryan, the same thing. You took away your win. Like, that's the biggest part of this whole fight.
And we even call it a controversy at this point. It is what it is.
Yeah,
Ryan
basically.
was found to have PEDs in his system.
Right.
That's what happened. Knowingly or unknowingly, it's what it is.
Yeah.
Now, go ahead.
No, people are not putting that under the bridge, but people are already looking forward. If both guys get past their opponents on Friday, obviously their fight is locked in. So both guys have a chip on their shoulder. Ryan to prove to the world that he didn't need to take anything to beat Devin. Devin to prove to the world, if he's clean, according to him, I can beat him. Great matchup.
Oh, I love it. And maybe we'll have the proper weights now. They're both weighing at the same time. I mean, I just love this fight. Right?
Two welterweight fights. Let's talk about Devin the Dream Haney. He's coming back, of course, the same layoff. Maybe different demons he has to battle in this one, but it feels like no one's talking about Jose Ramirez. And again, this feels somewhat the same way with Romero. Talk to me about this matchup.
I mean, the reason why people aren't talking about it because they're used to Devin fighting big fights after big fights. Think about Devin's career. I mean, he doesn't really have too enough fights. Ever since he became champion, this guy wants the big names. Since he was 19, 20 years old, he was calling out Lomachenko. This is a guy that fights big fight after big fight. Ramirez is no different. Very, very dangerous opponent, Ramirez, who is constantly on you, throwing so many punches. Devin has his work cut out, but he's that confident where he's saying, I want to show the world that was a fluke. This is the real me fighting a guy fair share.
Listen, we got a lot of champions. We got a lot of really good fighters in this sport, in this era, but we can't decide who's popular. And that's basically what it is. Like, if you go to Instagram, Devin Haney has 2.5 million more followers than Ramirez.
That's an exact number right there, Rob. Check it in.
I studied.
Stalking Instagram.
I studied all aspects of the game. But it is what it is, so that's why Ramirez is not getting talked about. But don't think Devin is not dreaming about Ramirez because the man is a former champion. The man's at a new weight class. That's the unknown. So you got to be prepared for that.
And I feel like as much as we write off Jose Ramirez, a lot of people have written off Devin Haney, especially after the performance and maybe some of the things that happened ensuing the fight and afterwards.
Right.
This is the youngest undisputed champ ever.
Yeah, I mean, he became the
What are
villain.
we talking about?
Absolutely.
He is still
the
the dream.
The most dangerous guy at 140 reads his program. Come on.
And look what he did at that weight where he was comfortable, right? This guy has a massive chip on his shoulder because of the criticism. He became the villain, even though he didn't test positive for anything. I mean, there's the lawsuit issue there, but he became the villain without doing anything wrong. But he had some moments. He also landed some big shots against Ryan Garcia. And Ryan admitted that he caught him with a good shot in that round.
That was the second round.
Yeah.
First of all, he had got hurt by Ryan in the first round, came back in the second round and was hurting Ryan.
There's the
and
Ryan
won
roll,
like
folks.
rounds in a row, second, third, fourth. So Exactly. It was a close fight. It was a close fight, even with 3 knockdowns. So that it goes to show that Devin was putting in work.
Oh, of
Absolutely.
course. It wasn't a shutout. It's just that Ryan landed the hardest shots, and he appeared to hurt Devin. Obviously, dropped him several times. So that's what people remember.
Well, you know, we talk about this fight. We talk about the mental fortitude it took for Devin to stay in that fight. We talk about his heart, and now he's got the time off to reflect and see what he can change. What do you expect? What's the change in the next evolution of the dream, Devin Haney?
Well, just to add to what you just said, he also showed not only heart, but a chin. I mean, when you're getting up from a puncher that can punch as hard as Ryan and as fast as him, that shows that you got a chin. People were criticizing him for his chin. I thought he showed heart and chin. I mean, he obviously has to change his approach on getting close to Ryan. As far as distance, Ryan has a whip of a left hook, and he throws it from different stance. He has to maybe come in with a jab, not stay on the line. Who knows? I mean, he has a good team, you know, behind him. So I'm pretty sure he'll make the adjustments.
Listen, fans judge fights with Street Fighter rules, meaning who got beat up. You know, so they don't count rounds. This guy made it a close fight, getting knocked down 3 times. Not only did he have a good chin, but he showed heart because he could have easily stayed long distance away after getting knocked down the first time. He didn't. Maybe that wasn't smart, but it showed heart. So when you're judging it that way, this guy can come back and probably do something different.
True, but just also I want to add and kind of shed some light on Ryan. Going into that fight, many people felt that he was going to be outboxed. They said Devin is the better boxer, right? So Ryan showed a lot of skill, and I felt like that was his coming out party to show the world, I can box with the elite boxers of the world.
Actually, he surprised me. I'm sorry to cut you off. Because when he was on our show, he said, you know what? The reason why I switched up is because I can't keep giving Devin or anyone the same look all the time, or they'll know how to duck and get away from it. So he has to switch up, go into that Ryan role, which I never want to see again, by the way. Ryan, never again. You know, switch it up, make you feel like you can come in and then catch you again. I kind of thought that was brilliant if he was telling the truth.
Well, listen, both fighters are cerebral fighters in their own right, and Devin has taken this time off to reflect. Here's what he had to say about the layoff.
I want to just be the best that I can be, come back better than I was before, and you know, beat Jose Ramirez. You know, I'm solidified. You know, I already, you know, been undisputed. You know, been champion at 140, and you know now I have another test in front of me, and it's Jose Ramirez. So my main focus is going there, beating me, and being victorious. I can't wait. The world is going to see how much better I've gotten over this last year, and I'm looking to bring fireworks. I'm looking to showcase my full arsenal on Jose Ramirez and show him that I'm just levels above him. It's my time, and I took a year off. I let my body, you know, rest and recover. So now I'm going to this fight, and I'm 100%, mentally, physically. You know, I couldn't be better right now.
There, Devin is talking about all the adjustments he's made. By the way, got his own masseuse. My man is still doing his thing up in Big Bear. A lot of fighters need to get out of their element and go to a different place and switch things up, not just mentally but physically. In elevation, I think all that's going to play a factor. But again, we talk about Jose Ramirez and Devin Haney, and that fight is spectacular in its own right, but there's still a massive fight that we haven't talked about. Teofimo Lopez, Arnold Barboza. Gentlemen, talk to me.
I mean, look, obviously there's some bad blood. Barboza has been calling out Teofimo for a very long time. Barack and I have spoken to him years ago. He's been calling out Teofimo, so he wants that smoke. Now, Teo, obviously, leading up to this fight, he's been the showman, right? He's been the one talking all the smack. He even smacked Barboza at the face-off there. So he's ready for this moment. And if you think about Teo's big moments, right? When he fought Lomachenko, when he fought Josh Taylor, how he shined in those big moments. Don't get me wrong, Barboza is no easy task by any means. Coming off a win, he has a lot to prove. But I got a feeling that Teofimo is going to be his night to shine.
Speaking about knight and shine, you look like a knight in shining armor right there. Got his Brett Michaels going on. What does that fit? Teo got the bandana on.
Eyeliner and all.
Come on now.
Oh, I forgot about the eyeliner. That was crazy. But what he's trying to show you is that I'm in shape, guys.
Yeah.
I'm in shape. I'm looking good. He doesn't have to have a chip on his shoulder. You know that, right? Right. This guy's been lineal champion in 2 different divisions, but he has it. Why? Questionable fights. Martin, Ortiz, questionable fights. So he wants to show the whole world, starting with New York, that I am who I said I was. I beat Loma. I beat Josh Taylor. Those are wins of guys who are on the pound-for-pound list.
Yeah.
This guy is a Hall of Famer already, basically.
Indeed.
Seriously.
When we talk about Tio, again, I feel like we sometimes we don't do the service to Arnold Barboza, because this guy has been on a tear, and it's just like we talked about Jose Ramirez potentially being overlooked, Rolly Romero potentially being overlooked. This fight is close.
Right.
This one is probably the toughest fight on the card, back and forth, that you could say on paper. That might be a toss-up. What do you guys think? Why is Arnold Barboza being slept on here?
Look, this was the reason, one of the reasons why I said that this card is so competitive, because of this fight. Barboza is a guy that, you talk about chip on his shoulder, he has the biggest chip because he's been fighting the longest, and he's been calling for big fights. Beating Jack Catterall, a guy that is considered one of the most skilled boxers, especially across the pond, the way he did it, he showed the world that was his coming out party. Obviously, in my opinion, I think they have a tougher task against Teofimo, but he's a guy that could potentially win this fight.
You know, on paper, Barboza is the most scariest guy. You know why? Because he beat Ramirez. So you got to take him out of there. Rolly's been knocked out twice, questionable wins over Marinez and guys like that. So, yeah, basically, and he's undefeated. And you know what it is? He's not super popular. He's just getting by, but in big fights. And those are sneaky, scary guys you got to be careful of.
You absolutely do, because regardless of how you get the fight done, it is win in advance, especially at these weight classes where guys are the stars upcoming, and this is why they're on this card. This is his opportunity. This is Jose Ramirez's opportunity. This is Rolly's opportunity to either reinsert themselves into that top-level status or introduce themselves to the world. And when we talk about all three of these fights, I want to get your opinions. Which fight sticks out to you the most and why?
I mean, I'm going to talk about the Teofimo fight that we just talked about. I think because of that, because to Barack's point, Barboza is probably the most dangerous opponent on paper and in the ring. And there's bad blood. He's wanted Teofimo for a very long time. So there's a little pressure he put on himself, because he's been saying that he can beat Teofimo for years. Now he's going to get the opportunity to do it in Times Square in New York City. So believe me, he has some pressure, but a lot to prove. That's the most interesting matchup in my opinion.
Well, since you picked that one, I'll pick the main event. The guy has 12-point-something million followers, and I'm talking about Ryan Garcia.
Here he goes again. With the
Instagram stuff.
12.5 this morning, okay? Here we go. No, but listen, he's bringing them out.
Yeah.
He's the reason people are going to be looking out their office windows, right or wrong.
Hey, I'm saying.
That's the guy.
Yeah.
And then you fighting a guy that, if you got knocked down by Luke Campbell, can we assume that Romero can probably knock Ryan down? Maybe. So if that guy is that dangerous, and you're fighting the guy with the pretty face that everybody want to see, come on, we got to talk about that one.
And he's not just a pretty face. I mean, some of these knockouts are deadly from Ryan, and you may not have thought it because of the pretty face, because of the YouTube following early, but he's left that all behind now.
Right.
And as he's grown up, not just physically, but mentally, you see him this fight week, and it seems like a more mature Ryan. It seems like a guy that has his head on straight, and quite frankly is looking at Rolly like Rolly's not even on his level. Like I don't want to say he's looking past him, because that's what a lot of people are doing, but you know, he's looking at Rolly like, you don't realize how much better I am than you. Essentially, when I watched that face-to-face, he was like, I'm going to destroy you. I'm going to walk through you. He told Rolly he was going to retire him and that Rolly would not walk into another boxing ring.
You know, Ryan gives predictions, and he's kind of right.
Mystic
a lot
Ryan.
of time. Yeah, he's kind of right with his predictions. So I mean, I hope that doesn't happen, but he does give predictions, and everybody says that about Rolly. Why? You talk about Ryan make mistakes. Rolly is a walking mistake in there, but he has power. No, but the guy has power. He makes a lot of mistakes. He's very wide,
he's unorthodox,
but he can knock
as well.
a horse out.
We're talking about a judo background. That's why a lot of the stuff that you see, he does throw punches and sounds like a cat being skinned when he's landing on the heavy bag. I saw that clip. I don't know really what that was.
I seen it.
But he is a little unorthodox.
But he can crack.
And he can crack as well as being unorthodox. That upright stance. We called Ryan unorthodox for years. We called him flat-footed for years. Does it matter when you can throw bombs? Seems
No,
not.
but
Hard to train for a guy like that.
That's
Very
true.
hard to find sparring for a guy that fights just like that. So you can't time guys like that, because they throw punches. I don't want to compare him to Prince Nassim Ahmed, but he's a guy that was unorthodox and threw punches from different angles, but he had power. That was the X factor. He can throw punches from anywhere and hurt you with any hand. So very dangerous fight for Ryan Garcia.
100%. And when I call him a mistake, is because you don't do things right. Roy Jones Jr. didn't do things right. You understand? So if you mastered what you do and it works, we can't complain.
And listen, Rolly seems like he has an idea that we don't. He knows something we don't about this fight. I can't wait for that one. But again, you guys went with the main event and Teofimo and Arnold Barboza. I'm going to go with Devin Haney and Jose Ramirez because I really do think this is a moment where Devin Haney is going to have to answer the bell, literally and figuratively. This is a moment where the world has talked about that last fight, memed it into oblivion, and it's his opportunity to shut all that up and go right back to the Ryan Garcia fight, potentially, if he's able to get back to Rolly. That is what I think is so important for Devin this time around, is that he is able to turn the tide back and show people what he did in this Regis Prograis fight. Show that level.
Look, we were there for this fight live, and I was so impressed with Devin Haney's performance. Regis, another guy that's also a big puncher and has been at that weight class, very comfortable, and he was very confident going into this fight. So the way Devin outboxed him easily and even hurt him at times, it let the world know, okay, 135 wasn't my weight class. 140 and above is where I'm most comfortable in. Devin was skilled, powerful, dominant in this fight.
All right, so Ramirez just lost to Barboza. How? Ramirez wasn't first. Barboza was first, threw 150 more punches. Y'all caught that?
He's again with it, man. Statistics,
almost landed 50 more.
Come on.
You get what I'm saying? Okay, almost landed 50 more. And then now if Devin gonna land a jab. No, but listen, who throws a better jab than Devin Haney?
Not many out there.
Who can outwork who? Like, he can outwork you, he can stay away, and he can shoot that laser right hand. So I just figured if Barboza gave that blueprint already, it might be kind of easier for Devin to do that style.
Who do you think is potentially going to surprise us on fight night? What do you think? Is it going to be an upset fight, or is it just going to be one of these fights that turns into a dog fight? Yeah, just a final thought on what you guys think might be a potential surprise here.
Honestly, to be honest, and I don't want to be a Debbie Downer way, but I don't see any surprises on Friday night. I think the people that are supposed to win will face some adversity throughout the fight, some maybe more than others, but they all will come on top. The fighters that are supposed to win, the favorites.
I don't know. I think everybody's focused. The A side is focused. The B side is focused. Anything can happen in either one of those fights, but I guess we can squeeze out Romero because he has that superpower, so maybe he can shock the world and get a knockdown at least.
I do think everybody, I think everybody understands the levity of this moment. And folks, the moment is here for our grand arrival. So let's send it down to David Diamante with our fighter introductions.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's an absolute pleasure to welcome everybody here today to the Manhattan Center for the grand arrivals for Fatal Fury, a huge night of World Championship Boxing taking place this Friday, May 2nd, from the crossroads of the world, Times Square, New York City. It's all being brought to you courtesy of the Bible of Boxing Ring Magazine, SNK Corporation, the publisher of the famous video fighting game Fatal Fury, City of Wolves, Oscar de la Hoya's of Golden Boy Promotions, Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing, and Box Raw. Sponsored by the Public Investment Fund. Visit Saudi, STC, SRMG, Dr. Suleiman Al Habib Medical Group, Saudia, the National Airlines of Saudi Arabia, Jeddah Season, Milaf Cola, Visit Qatar, Core Group, Desert, NHC, Jocko, Sky, Arab National Bank, First Data, Sella, and SMC. And ladies and gentlemen, this incredible event with 3 main events will be available worldwide. Buy the pay-per-view now at DAZN.com. Ladies and gentlemen, the first contest of the night, it's an incredible light heavyweight special attraction. It's the Battle of the Badges. New York's finest against New York's bravest. Now making his way to the stage representing New York's finest, the NYPD, please welcome Joel Allen. Allen. And now making his way to the stage, he's representing the FDNY, New York's bravest. Please welcome James Gennari. Gennari.
From police officers are always a little tougher than the firemen. No disrespect to the New York Fire Department, but I'm going with the cops on this one.
I never see no standouts in either one of them. Sometimes I used to watch them and say, these are the guys protecting us? My God.
Well, let's give these guys a shot on Friday, man.
On Friday, these guys are the
guys
ones we want protecting
They're the best of the best, right?
The best of the best. 3 rounds, light heavyweight division, the best, the finest, and the bravest of New York going at it. Now let's go ahead and send it to Mike Coppinger, who is standing by with the fighters.
All right, Joel. Well, you're here representing NYPD. You're fighting to represent them. How excited are you for this fight?
Oh, I'm blown away. Such a, wow, what a moment. Happy to be here, just trying to stay focused and not caught in the lights, but very happy to be here and look forward to making my brothers in blue proud.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see you fight. I'm wondering, have you ever had to put those fighting skills to the test with your job?
Minimum force use at all times, minimum force. Once or twice.
Thank you and good luck.
Thank you.
All right, and look, you're representing FDNY, the firefighters. How important is it for you to score one against the NYPD?
Oh, it's a classic matchup. NYPD versus FDNY is classic. It never gets old, you know. Of course, I'm trying to go for the win, so that's the plan.
And how have you trained for this fight?
Just through hard work, dedication, you know, work 24-hour shift, straight to the gym.
All right, thanks. Best of luck.
All right, 12 rounds. The battle of edges, the bravest versus the finest. Joel Allen versus James Gennari.
Face off anyway. I couldn't.
Was the NYPD.
Listen, I'm going with that fireman. You know why? FDNY, they show up first for everything.
He's bringing the fire.
24 hours, and then you go right into the gym? Got to go with him.
Teddy Atlas would have loved him. He was a fireman, but more fire ahead. Let's send it back to David Diamante.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next contest, it's a special featherweight attraction. We're going 6 rounds. Now making his way to the stage, fighting out of Chicago, Illinois, LaValle Whittington. Whittington. And now making his way to the stage, he's the Southpaw sensation from Japan. He's the gold medalist at the 2021 World Youth Championships. He's a Ring Magazine ambassador. Here comes making on Saturday night his much anticipated professional debut, Hiroto Tsutsumi. Tsutsumi.
actually called a LaVale Whittington fight before.
Oh, yeah.
In Caguas, Puerto Rico. You like how I did that?
Oh, like
But I'll tell you something. The star on stage right now is clearly Tsutsumi, 59-2.
Redo Tsutsumi, 6-round super featherweights, Times Square, New York City, Ring Magazine, Fatal Fury.
Well, I think he's a star because I like his fit. You know, they say Japan has the best fashion sense, and he showed it today. I like the fit.
I just looked at his stance. His stance looked good. Looked like he was a left-handed fighter. I got to go with that guy.
A lot of eyes on him, a lot of hype around him as well. That one is just a precursor because now we get the main course. Let's send it back to David Diamante.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's now time to get into our 3 main events for the evening. Our first one is in association with Top Rank Incorporated as we go 12 rounds for the WBO and Ring Magazine Junior Welterweight Championship of the World. Now making his way to the stage, professional record perfect. 32 fights, 32 victories with 11 wins coming by way of knockout. He's the mandatory #1 contender, ranked #3 in the world by the Ring Magazine, fighting out of Los Angeles, California, Arnold Barboza Jr. Barboza Jr. And now please welcome to the stage the Hall of Famer, Oscar De La Hoya.
We are very proud to be here in New York, the media capital of the world. We're excited that Golden Boy Promotions is part of this excellent show. We have 3 main fighters on the card, and once again, Golden Boy Promotions proves that we are the best at positioning our fighters to be in this situation. So thank you very much to Salah, thank you very much to Turkey Al-Sheikh, and New York. We'll see you May 2nd, live in Times Square. It's going to be historical. Gracias a toda la gente que está aquí, a toda la raza, gracias por apoyar. Mayo 2 va a ser increíble. No se la pierdan. Ryan Garcia, José Ramírez, Barbosa, va a ser increíble. Gracias. Toda la raza.
And now to Mike Coppinger.
We are here with Arnold Barboza Jr., or #3 in the Ring Magazine's rankings at 140 pounds. And you've been on an incredible stretch right now. You beat Jose Ramirez in November. You beat Jack Catterall. I imagine your confidence right now is at an all-time high.
Oh, man, the train's going to keep going, baby. The train's going to keep going. We're in New York City, baby. I'm happy. I'm excited. Let's go.
You're 33 years old. You've been waiting a long time for this title shot, and you're fighting for the Ring Magazine Junior Welterweight Championship against one of the biggest stars in boxing. How excited are you?
Oh, man, I'm very excited, man. I'm very excited to share the ring with him, man. He's an awesome fighter. You know, one of the top at 140, right? But I'm an awesome fighter, too, man. So it's going to be fireworks, baby. Let's go.
Lastly, in Los Angeles, Teofimo Lopez disrespected you. He slapped you across the face. Are you going to make him pay?
Yeah, man. I mean, look, at the end of the day, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? We stick to the game plan, man. We, you know, on May 2nd, baby, it's time to get active.
Thank you. Best of luck.
Appreciate it.
Arnold Barboza Jr. coming in
Making
rocking.
his way to the stage, his opponent, professional record, 21 victories, 1 defeat with 13 wins coming by way of knockout. He fights out of the beautiful borough of Brooklyn, New York. Here is the former undisputed lightweight world champion and the reigning and defending Ring Magazine and WBO Junior Welterweight Champion of the World, the Takeover, Teofimo Lopez.
All right, we are here with the Takeover, Teofimo Lopez. You're the Ring Magazine champion at 140 pounds, and you're going to be on the same card as two other stars, Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney. How do you steal the show?
Well, first off, I just want to thank the higher power, man. I just want to thank God for everything, just being here with all you beautiful people. We're here, Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves. I'm happy, I'm thankful, and I'm grateful, man. Other than that, we're just here to put on a show, warm it up for everybody, and take over.
And look, you know Barbosa has been calling for this fight for a long, long time. You slapped him across the face in Los Angeles. What point were you looking to prove there?
Well, listen, I mean, look, I come respectful, you know, that's the whole thing. My whole thing is I'm always going to come respectful, but he crossed that boundary, and we just got to lay it right there. But nevertheless, Friday, May 2nd, we're going to handle business.
And lastly, you are again the champion at 140 pounds. What kind of statement are you looking to make here? Is this going to be your last fight at 140?
Champion? I'm the champion. Yeah, rightfully so. I'm the champion. He's not no champion. He had to work his way, but he still ain't there yet. So my whole thing is, look, I'm going to go out there and do what I got to do, have fun, and beat the bricks out this boy.
Thank you, Tio.
Face off, guys.
Temper, gentlemen. This doesn't seem like it's cooled off too much there.
Yeah, I mean...
Tio walked up, did his model pose, and then spun around, hit a pointer finger, too. He's knowing, he
took advantage of that catwalk.
Yeah,
you know, that's how you're supposed to do it.
And Mike reminded both guys that he smacked him across the face.
That's crazy. All right, we got some banger fights coming up. That's just one. Two more. And I just can't believe that we're right here. This moment is so near. Teofimo soaking it in. Arnold Barbosa soaking it in. He's got his LA Dodgers gear on. Shout out to him. West Coast boy myself nowadays. I had to have somebody represent.
I like the way Oscar came and just took that mic and took over for a second.
Snatched it.
I like how Barbosa also has been comfortable and hold his composure.
He definitely is. We're going to go right back to David Diamante.
Ladies and gentlemen, the grand arrivals continue with our second main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing scheduled in the welterweight division. Now making his way to the stage, professional record, 29 victories, 2 defeats, with 18 wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Avenal, California, here is the former junior welterweight champion of the world, Jose Ramirez.
Jose Ramirez soaking in his moment. Again, upset-minded. Not to me. Oh, look at that. Showing off the abs. Okay, Barack, you see some of that?
I like that. No, I don't mean I like that. What
Nah,
I'm saying is, you're too late. You're too late. I already killed it.
Let's take it to Mike.
Jose Ramirez, you're a former champion at 140 pounds. This is going to be your first fight at 144 as you work your way to welterweight. And we saw you pulling up your shirt there. You're feeling good, huh?
Yeah, you know, I'm just ready to fight May 2nd. I'm looking forward to it. You know, I'm gonna go out there and, you know, win, man. I see myself out there May 2nd, still in the show.
And you're coming off a loss to Arnold Barbosa Jr., and you're going right back into a tough fight. You're the underdog. You're fighting one of the biggest stars in boxing in Devin Haney. How excited does that make you?
Oh, extremely excited. You know, first and foremost, you know, I'm thankful for the opportunity, but it's, you know, it's time for me to, you know, show the world the best version of myself. So I owe it to myself to, you know, move up in a bigger weight class. Those 4 pounds, I know, you know, it's gonna definitely do wonders for me that night, and you know, we're ready.
And I watched you spar in training camp. You looked great, and we know that you come with that Mexican style, that nonstop pressure. What should Devin Haney expect on fight night?
Well, like you said, you saw me spar. You know, you saw me spar against 3 guys, 3 undefeated prospects, soon-to-be world champions. And they were in 4 rounds each, you know, because of the pressure, because of the motivation that I had. Man, you know, I'm extremely ready for May 2nd, and it doesn't matter who's in front of me. I'm going to do what I have to do to win.
Thank you, Jose. Best of luck.
Thank you.
And his opponent now making his way to the stage. He is undefeated in his campaign as a professional with a record of 31 31 victories, no defeats, 15 wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of and representing the Bay Area, ladies and gentlemen, here is the former WBC Junior Welterweight World Champion, the former undisputed lightweight world champion, ranked pound for pound number 9 and ranked number 1 in the world by the Ring Magazine, Devin "The Dream" Haney.
A lot to prove here for Devin Haney. He looks confident, boys.
Yeah, and he's paying homage to New York, wearing them Air Force Ones, icy whites.
Absolutely, I like that fit, but if you think about it, I think he just had a year's camp. He's ready.
Devin "The Dream" Haney, one of the biggest stars in all of boxing, number 9 pound for pound in the world, Ring Magazine. It's been a long year since your fight with Ryan Garcia. What are you looking to prove?
Alhamdulillah, I'm happy to be back in the ring. This is a dream come true. You know, Allah's a perfect planner. I like to bring fireworks on May 2nd. I look to show the world a new and improved, better Devin Haney than before.
Yeah, and again, that fight with Ryan Garcia in April, we all know what happens. One of the biggest fights of the year. You are still undefeated. What have you been doing along this year off?
You know, I had to go back to the drawing board and, you know, focus on the mistakes I was making, you know, and like I said, become a better version of myself. And I look to go in there and show it on Friday.
And look, it's no secret, right? You and Ryan Garcia are going to meet again in a rematch. But first, you need to beat Jose Ramirez. Ryan Garcia, he needs to beat Rolly Romero. How excited are you for that rematch?
It all starts with May 2nd. My main focus right now is Jose Ramirez. He's a former 2-time champion. He's coming. He's bringing everything, and I look to show him. You know, I look to handicap him and show him that I'm just on a whole different level, and then we can get to the Ryan Garcia fight. But it all starts with Friday night.
All right, are we going to see a statement victory?
Inshallah.
Thank you, Devin.
A very, very locked in Devin Haney in our first face-off, gentlemen.
Listen, I just, the weight, I think Devin is so much more comfortable at this weight class. Barack, he feels like he's going to show the world that he's still one of the best boxers on the planet on Friday night.
You know how Kobe used to say that he used to get up earlier than everybody and work harder than everybody?
Yeah.
I think throughout this year, while other guys probably were taking time off, he was in the gym.
But on the low.
Yes.
Low key.
He's only talking about his mistakes.
Jose Ramirez, 12 rounds in the welterweight division. Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves, Times Square, New York City.
We're talking to each other up there. You can feel the energy, right, guys? You can feel. We're only days away, but I bet most of these guys want to do it right now.
And we're so far, for them, it's so far away. For us, it's like tomorrow, but for them, it's like they want to get in the ring now.
And now let's sit him out.
Ladies and gentlemen, the grand arrivals continue right now with the third and final main event of the evening, and it's all being brought to you in association with Warriors Boxing. Now making his way to the stage, his professional record, 16 victories, 2 defeats, with 13 of his 16 wins coming by way of knockout. He fights out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Please welcome the former junior welterweight champion of the world, Rolando Romero.
Rolly Romero. A different feel from Rolly this time around. He's been a lot more laid back, a lot more chill, but I think that's just a lot more locked in.
I don't know. It's a lot not like him, though. So it doesn't seem like he's being himself.
No, I just think that they're friends. You know what I'm saying? They kind of like each other.
All right, we're here with Rolly Romero. Rolly, you're a former champion at 140 pounds, but you're a big guy. This is going to be your welterweight debut. How are you feeling?
About damn time. Should long overdue.
And look, you've talked a lot about over the years, right? You and Ryan Garcia have sparred before. What's your recollection of that sparring session?
He got his ass beat twice.
Is this going to be the third time you're saying?
3 times the charm, right?
And lastly, you had that fight with Gervonta Davis. That was a big fight. You're back in another big fight right now, the headlining fight in Times Square. What can we expect from you? You're a big puncher. Are you going for the knockout?
When have I ever not gone for a knockout? Every fight I'll go for a knockout.
All right, best of luck.
Of course. Thank you.
And his opponent now making his way to the stage. His professional record, 24 victories, only 1 defeat, with 20 big wins coming by way of knockout. He fights out of Los Angeles, California, USA. Please welcome the skilled, popular, and dangerous young fighting phenom, King Ryan Garcia. Garcia.
Is back in New York. His arrival has got the fans ignited, fellas. Look at those combinations already.
He's looking good. He's looking sharp. He's looking in shape.
Yes.
Not big like the last time.
I like the sweatsuit.
All right, Ryan Garcia, one of the biggest stars in all of boxing, one of the biggest punchers. We saw your fast hands right there. What kind of statement are you looking to make after that year layoff?
Yeah, I'm coming back with a bang. You know, I'm not here to play no games in this come Friday night. I can't. You know, I got a huge fight coming up next, so I got to take him as serious as if I'm fighting Devin. So we're going to be prepared 100%.
Yeah, and again, you fought Devin Haney last April. It's been a year layoff. Is this a new Ryan Garcia, a more focused version?
I mean, you're just getting what you're getting, but I'm still going to bring that speed, that power. It's just what I do. You know, I'm explosive and I'm hungry. You know, I feel the adrenaline right now. You know, fight week, I'm just, I'm feeling how I always feel, just focused, ready to kill.
3 knockdowns scored in your last fight. Like we said, you're a big puncher. Are you coming for that knockout?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I'm not coming for it, but when I throw, usually they go down. So, I got him. He's gonna be coming after me. I'm gonna be coming after him, and it's gonna be a great night.
And you mentioned Devin Haney before. Obviously, he's fighting Jose Ramirez before you, and you have a rematch planned against Devin Haney. Are you looking to show him something?
Oh yeah, I'm willing to show. I cannot wait. I want to put a whooping on his dad too. That's really who I want to put a whooping on. But Devin could get it as well. Again, I'm gonna do the same thing just like I did last time. Maybe we could run it back in New York too. Why not? Bring it back and do what I did to him last time.
All right, lastly, Times Square, New York. It's going to be a crazy experience. Is this the biggest fight of your career?
Yeah, this got to be the biggest fight of my career. It's a historic night, and, it means everything. It means everything. So, yeah, this is the biggest fight of my life.
All right, Ryan, thank you. Can't wait to see you back in the ring.
Thank you.
Face off, guys. Face off.
He is fired up, guys. He's talking spicy, but I like it. I like the focus. I like the wherewithal to understand how big this moment is.
And so much bigger, he's talking about bigger he is than Rolly. He's so comfortable in there, so calm, so collective. I think this is the most dangerous Ryan Garcia you would ever see.
Yeah, I think in Ryan's mind, he says, I beat Devin Haney. I beat a harder fighter already.
Rolando Rolly Romero, 12 rounds in the welterweight division, Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves, Times Square, New York City.
Is your main event. And folks, you heard it last week from my man standing in the middle right there, Rick Reno. He's dialed to the nines too right here in New York. For all of the promotions on stage and all the representatives, I gotta let people know this is happening because of the Ring Magazine and because of Turki Al-Sheikh. I think we need to talk about that. Tell me your guys' thoughts on just the change in the sport, the improvement, the evolution that Turki's bringing here.
I think outside of the innovation, right? Obviously, I touched on it earlier that I would have never imagined a fight being in Times Square, but he's not only focused on the venue, the spectacle, he's also focused on the matchups, right? Making the biggest fights that the fight fans want to see. And that's been a narrative for the last 10, 15 years as Barack and I have been covering the sport with why these fights are not happening. People don't have those excuses anymore where the fights are happening, and it's because of HE.
Right, and he's also saying, how can I make the best fights a spectacle? Where everybody's gonna say, oh really? What? Where did they fight? Are they gonna fight in a prison? Where, right? Because I didn't see 74. Where they going to fight at? So that right there is going to bring more eyes to the sport. So he's amazing for
I mean, it
for
already
boxing.
has. You're seeing the evolution, like you talked about, in the matchmaking, in the willingness to take risks and do different venues, different matchups. But also look at the promo. Look at that video we just watched earlier.
Those are movies.
That was crazy. The billboards were talking to us.
I auditioned for that.
The pizzas.
These are motion pictures to promote these fights.
We got to get y'all on one of these.
No, you got to audition for a promo.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a real short film.
It's becoming a movie.
Listen,
it really is.
I mean, look, I give credit to the 24/7s of the world, the All Access, but this is a different level, man. This is a trailer for a fight, never been done.
Well, listen, we're here at the Grand Arrivals, and they certainly were grand. I want to get some thoughts on what we just saw. Who stuck out to you? Who looked like they were in the moment the most and ready for what's about to happen?
I thought it was Ryan Garcia. I said the comfort level and the calmness, the cerebralness that you see in his eyes when he walks up. And when he walked at the end of that stage, that catwalk, and through that combination, that's that range. Like, I can't wait to let these shots out in the ring on Friday. I say Ryan Garcia is standing out to me today.
I mean, they all look comfortable. Yeah, I was kind of shocked that Ryan was so happy. You know, looking down at him like, you know, he's joyful. But also, I like what Devin was saying. Devin has been in a camp for 1 year, literally. And he keeps saying, I can't wait to show the new Devin Haney, what I've learned all of this time. Well, maybe y'all was on vacation, maybe y'all was enjoying your family, but I was in the gym.
And that's what you'd expect, right? After, you know, not technically a loss, but I think we all saw with our two eyes what happened in that ring. You wanted to see Devin go back to the drawing board. And if this is truly a new Devin Haney, I wonder what that means for him. Is it a different style? Is it just a focus on the things that he could have done better in the fight? Or does he get more aggressive in this fight? Does he really try to showcase that I'm not just great with my feet, I'm not just great on the jab, I'm here to hurt people too?
I mean, I wouldn't even say style, because Devin he's, in my opinion, he's one of the best skilled boxers in all of boxing, so he doesn't have to change his style, so to speak. Maybe at times he could be more aggressive and he showed against Proga that he has power. Maybe he tries that against Ramirez, especially moving up in weight, being in a more comfortable weight. But Devin doesn't have to change anything, but because he is one of the most skilled boxers in all of boxing.
I think he's going to be more defensively minded. You know, also, he's probably working on his power and his footwork. But like he said, he was already super skillful.
Now, when we started the Grand Arrivals with our first of 3 main events, we saw Arnold Barboza and Teofimo Lopez. Energy from between those two, it's been red hot since they stepped on the stage, the first press conference. Anything new you saw there, or just two guys ready to go?
Same energy. I think Barboza was a little bit more calm than he was earlier on, a little more comfortable. He's enjoying the moment. He's laughing. He's smiling. First go around on that press tour, he was upset. He really wanted to get his hands on Teofimo. Now he's waiting till Friday for that moment. He looked very calm.
I think the days that they're not eating at all, we'll get a little bit more spice.
I was going to say, we're starting that weight cut little by little.
Yeah.
The open workout, we'll start to see guys, I think, get a little quieter, a little more focused, and maybe a little more spiteful.
Maybe not so much, because remember, these guys are fighting at a bigger weight class.
Yeah, it don't matter.
True.
No, there's a difference. Trust me, those 3 or 4 pounds are the hardest to get off. So I'm not saying it won't be hard.
You ain't trying to take off no pounds. You ain't trying to take off no pounds.
Go ahead, get it.
Listen,
he's in the gym doing curls.
Look,
that's it.
He's not lying. It's been 18 years to try to get
the curl today. That's what happened.
Right, but listen, those 3 pounds at the end of the week are hard to get off. Believe it or not, it's going to be a little easier than the times before at 140.
A little easier, but still, Wednesday, Thursday, it'll be a little more spicy. That's all I'm saying.
And let's be honest, we do have a catch weight for Devin Haney and Jose Ramirez. Not at 140, not at 147, 144. So right in the middle there. So that'll be interesting as well. I do want to go back to Ryan at the end of this catwalk here. He started throwing those combinations, and I don't know if you guys thought of it, but I did. After that weigh-in in the Devin Haney fight, he jumped off that scale after all the antics, and you saw a flip switched. That looked exactly like that combination he threw on stage after the Haney weigh-in. That guy looks to be just in the exact same zone, killer be killed mindset, and I love it because, again, no antics, none of the other stuff, locked in, zeroed in, and he's dangerous.
But think about this, though. A higher weight class now, and he looks slimmer. You get what I'm saying? Higher weight class, look a little slimmer in the face. He's in better shape. This is going to be crazy.
And he stayed with Derek James, which, you know, there were some rumors about where he would go, you know, potentially back with Canelo, but he's staying with Derek James. I think that's going to help out a lot, too, because that comfortability, you're not bouncing around gyms. And also, he can work on that right hand. We know he got the left hook.
Not only that, look, he won the biggest fight of his career with Derek James, regardless of you know, the controversy, he still looked great in that ring, and he was with Derek. Look, he sat down with myself and Barack on Ring Champs, and he said,
tell him where he sat down.
He sat down on Ring Champs on All the Smoke fight, but he said to us that he has no issues with Derek James. There was some issues with traveling, him not wanting to leave Texas and so on and so forth, but they worked it out. They negotiated whatever they negotiate. He's very comfortable with Derek James. Hell of a coach.
Absolutely.
I interviewed him earlier today. He predicted he's going to win with a right hand.
With the right hand, this is the evolution. And listen, we've heard a ton of talk about Ryan and Devin Haney, but Ryan himself sat down with Chris Mannix, and here's what he had to say.
This card has got several big fights on it, including one with Devin and Jose Ramirez, and nobody is making any secret about what, you know, the quote plan is moving forward for a rematch to happen between Ryan and Devin sometime in the fall.
I hope he beats Devin again.
But he'd have to beat you first to get there.
No. He can still fight Ryan after me. I mean Devin after me.
Okay.
Ryan can still fight Devin after me. I don't give a That has nothing to do with me.
Yeah. Well, I think if you beat him, they'd probably do another fight with you guys.
Yeah, down the line, maybe another one. But like I said, that has nothing to do with me. They mad, they could do the same they did again. They could do it 3, 4, 5 times in a row. But I'll be happy as to watch them knock out Devin 4 or 5 times in a row.
You were, in the aftermath of that fight, you were, I think, happy that it happened. What did you think, though, about what Ryan went through in the aftermath with the positive tests?
I mean, it was an insignificant amount. That weight did help a lot, though.
At the end of the day, I paid him. Bro, he had a chance to pull out of the fight at that moment. He was offered, no, actually, he wanted money. He didn't offer it. We just said we missed weight, can't make the weight. And they took the money. I mean, what can I say? You take the money, then you gotta shut the up. Don't take the money if you're gonna use that as an excuse. Go on ESPN and start saying, you know, he was overweight, he didn't do things right. Like, that's some weird. And then assume he's even crazier. He's a weirdo. And his dad's even a bigger weirdo. Like, that's a little weirdo and big weirdo.
Well, you guys are going to have a chance, maybe, to settle it in the ring in the fall. Do you think there's any chance that
I hope you beat the out of him again, even worse than the
I think he wants me to beat Devin so bad. He wants me to beat his ass so I can fight Devin to beat his ass.
You guys are fighting anyways. We already know what it is. You guys are going to fight no matter what anyways. That has nothing to do with me.
I mean, it's just...
Right, you could get your ass beat by me, get flatlined, whatever, take a knee like you're used to, and then go fight Devin, beat the out of him, bro, and do a boxing world a favor.
Seems like Rolly's more concerned with Devin, with Ryan fighting Devin than his own fight.
Well, listen, one of the men responsible for 3 of the fighters on this card, he is a boxing legend. He is a multi-time world champion, multi-division world champion, a Hall of Famer, and the founder of Golden Boy Promotions. Folks, it is Oscar De La Hoya.
My man.
How we doing, Oscar?
All good, man. I'm pumped.
I can tell. You're fired up, man.
I'm fired up. You know, when you're a fighter, you're always a fighter, no matter what. And I got on that stage, I was like, oh, man.
Well, you snatched the mic first. You snatched the mic first.
Yeah, I got to get my words in.
So you're still getting thoughts about getting back in the ring, a little exhibition or something, no?
I think about it every single day. Wow. But this old man knows he can't get in.
You just look the part.
He looks the part, and...
There you go. I got to get to Oscar's gym. I won't raise my shirt.
You do live the part through your fighters, and you have 3 of them on this card.
I paid for that, by the way.
Talk to me about how important it is with all your fighters on this card.
No, it's important because, look, we at Golden Boy, we know how to position our fighters.
Yeah, you said that on stage.
Yeah, to get to this point.
Yeah.
Look, you go back in history on how we promote, and there's a reason why there's 3 fighters that are, built by Golden Boy. And that's all we do is position them. So, and from there, you take care of your business inside the ring. I can't fight for you.
Oscar, what was your first thought when you got the call from His Excellency or whoever was communicating with you about this fight? We want to do it in Times Square. What was your first thought?
It's about time. It's about time because we internally at Golden Boy have been talking about this for a long time. Wow. I've always been talking about, let's go to Alcatraz, but it's almost impossible logistically. Wow. And monetarily. It's hard to do because you got to pay so much money. So when His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh had the idea of doing this, it's like, yeah, let's go, let's do it. Right. This is what it takes to bring boxing back. And so I believe that this event, May 2nd, will be historical. Everybody will be talking about it for months to come, years to come. So I just hope that the 3 fights, the main fights, are just bangers. Just go
baby.
and
Live up
get
to the hype.
knockouts and make a statement and let's go home.
Yo, Oscar, we know you made a lot of money. You was the Golden Boy. You was the prettiest fighter there is. But do you wish?
He said. And still, he said.
Do you wish you was kind of like in this era so you could be a part of this extravaganza and the money that they're making today?
He's made a lot of money in big
But
big
still,
fights.
it's different though. Come on.
A little bit.
I think my era was probably one of the toughest eras in boxing. Julio Cesar Chavez's era, Mike Tyson's era.
Tito Trinidad.
I mean, you go Ike Corte, you go Shane Mosley. That era was probably the best
It went
era
from
in
Chavez
boxing.
era to you.
Come
like
on, no. Please do not offend me that way.
You wildin'.
He said it. Oscar, let's talk about your fighters. You got Ryan obviously headlining. What are you expecting out of him this time around?
No, I'm expecting a serious Ryan, a Ryan that's focused, laser focused for that matter. I think this fight will be so intense while it lasts, and it's probably gonna last like 4 rounds.
Yeah, close to what I said. I like that prediction. 3 or 4 rounds.
He said a right hand. What do you think?
Ooh, I mean, I like that check hook that Ryan has.
Who doesn't?
I like that check hook.
That's the money
His opponents. That's it.
But then again, Rollies comes in. You know, he comes in like
Unorthodox.
this.
Hard to time.
It's hard to time. It's awkward. You just never know. And so Ryan's style, he can be reckless at times. You know, so can he get caught? Will he get caught? You got to watch May 2nd.
Outside of this fight, Oscar, who do you think would be more distracted about the potential fight with Devin Haney in October? Is it Ryan because he wants to prove to the world I did it clean, or Devin wanting to prove to the world no, he wasn't clean?
No, I think Devin has his hands full May 2nd because he's coming off a devastating knockout. So is he going to come in the ring thinking, oh my gosh, what just happened to me in my last fight against Ryan? Wait a second, I have to face Ramirez. Jesus, what am I going to do? So it's somewhat a confusion in Devin's head. Is he going to hit me and am I going to get knocked out? Is my chin still the same? See, when you get knocked out as a fighter, your confidence just drops.
Yeah, but he didn't get knocked out. He showed heart and chin because he got up from those knockdowns against a hard puncher like Ryan Garcia. So in my opinion, he was hurt, but he showed a chin. He got up.
No, he did show. He showed a heart.
Yes,
and that's different.
Yeah,
heart is different. The chin, you can't repair the chin.
To what Oscar's saying, it was 3 big knockdowns, and again, that was a long fight.
It takes away your confidence.
It wasn't a flash knockdown, and we're waving it off. It's over with. He took damage, and I do wonder, and that's why I was going to come to Oscar for the same question. You have fought the best of the best. You've seen some of the most brutal knockouts. How do you think that Devin comes back after that long layoff?
Well, look, let's just put it this way. I can build a wall of bricks and put some nice cement and water and everything, but over time, it's going to deteriorate. Over time, it's going to fall apart. So, can Devin's chin, withhold those strong punches? Can his chin, be able to take those left hooks, those right hands over time? Yeah. See, over time, it's like chipping away at a rock. Eventually, you turn it into a pebble.
Yeah,
Will we see Devin Haney with the confidence, with the chin? I don't know.
All right, so which fight you think has the most potential to be fight of the night?
Barboza, Teofimo.
Talk to him, Oscar. Talk to him.
Barboza, Teofimo, the fire. Yeah. It's real. They couldn't even pose together. Damn. It's incredible. It's the emotions are real. I'm looking forward to that one. But look, again, I'll predict right now. Ryan Garcia with Rollies. Have fun while it lasts below 5 rounds. Devin Haney, Ramirez. I strongly believe if Ramirez comes in, guns blazing, I can see Ramirez dropping Devin Haney and making it a long night for Devin Haney. But he can squeeze out the decision, okay? And with Barboza and Teo, I mean, that's going to be the fight of the night. I think it's going to go back and forth. It's going to be a war. Can Tio pull it off because of his skills and his side-to-side movement and this and that? Yes, he can. But Barboza is hungry, and he's going to make it a dogfight.
What type of advice would you give Barboza? You, in the past, you say how good Teofimo really is. So, you know, you've been honest about that. He has a tough test in front of him. What advice do you give Barboza?
Well, there's a reason why Teofimo doesn't want any part of Barboza right now on stage. He doesn't want to pose with him. You know, we know that Tio is reserved now, and he's laser focused, yes. But I remember as a fighter myself, when opponents didn't want to face off with me, there was something in their head that they're thinking about. And I think that Barboza has gone into Tio's head. It might be a long night for Tio. Who knows?
Rent-free? He's in his head.
Potentially rent-free.
I don't know.
Well, Oscar, I know you're super pumped to be a part of this event. We all are, and I just wanted to give you an opportunity. We're here, obviously, because of your contributions at Golden Boy, but Turki Alashik, the ring, what does it mean to you to work with him?
No, it's awesome. It really is a pleasure and honor to bring big-time boxing to the media capital of the world, to different places around the world, to make the big fights happen. You know, it takes money. It takes a lot of money. And the fact that Turki Alashik, the fact that Salah is making this happen, giving us the opportunity to be promoting this type of event, it's an honor because I love boxing, man. This is my life, and I'm staying right here.
He wants to get in there right now. You can tell.
Golden Boy isn't going anywhere.
I'm promoting until I'm 99 years old like Bob Arum.
Wow.
We can't have Oscar putting on the gloves. We are very, very proud and honored that you're here with us. Oscar, thank you for joining us here, and we'll see you more this week. Thank you so much, my man.
Well, man. Thank you, brother.
But folks, DAZN is not only the global leader in boxing, it is also the official global broadcaster for the 2025 FIFA Club World Cup, which will feature 32 of the world's top football clubs. Teams from Europe, Asia, the Americas, Africa, and Oceania will compete for the coveted Club World Championship title.
Greatness comes to DAZN this summer. The world's best players will be summoned together to decide the greatest club on earth.
Vinicius, great chance to score.
Goats will battle Wonder Kids. Fire will meet ice. From Boca to Bayern, PSG to Palmeiras, 32 clubs from across the globe will compete to be crowned
Rodrigo, what a strike that was!
world champion. And this summer, Haaland won't be watching from home, but you can on DAZN. In every country in the world. FIFA Club World Cup. Watch on DAZN from the 14th of June.
Back-to-back fights. Obviously, Friday's historic Times Square fights, and then Saturday, Canelo Alvarez will be in action when he bids to become a two-time undisputed super middleweight champion against the undefeated IBF champion William Skull in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Both events will be broadcast exclusively live on DAZN pay-per-view, and fans can purchase the fights individually or both fights in a special DAZN Knockout Weekend bundle.
See? You can get a little deal there for watching both fights, man.
A little
I like
deal
that.
there on DAZN. Come on now. We have to talk about it. Yes, of course, we're here in New York, but Canelo Alvarez, William Skull, the next day, fellas. What do we think?
That's why I was saying earlier this week that this is not only going to be an amazing Friday, but an amazing weekend of fights. And listen, people are overlooking Skull. This is a Cuban-style fighter, and in the past, Canelo has faced a little trouble against that style of fighting. He's a lot bigger than him. I know people are looking forward to September. Potential fight with the best fighter in the world, Terrence Crawford. So am I. But he has to get
who ain't, you know what I mean?
But he has to get past William Skull, who's going there to win on Saturday night. Man, I'm so excited about this weekend.
You know how fighters say, no, I'm not thinking about that next fight. I'm only thinking about this. Some of them be lying.
Right.
Canelo's not lying. I was just in Saudi Arabia. He's training crazy. He's focused on who he has. And he also remembers that those guys that like to move around, that's not good fights for him. So he has to learn how to get in there, cut the ring off. He has to be focused on that. So we're going to see a good Canelo.
You know, we asked the question because some of the fighters here are a lot younger. and they haven't necessarily had these opportunities where you're fighting someone, but there's another big fight behind it. Canelo has been through it all, which is why I don't question if he's going to be locked in.
There's always another big fight for Canelo.
There's always one, right? There's always, just like in life, there's always something better out there, but as J. Cole said, you better be happy with yours, right?
I mean, in the last, I don't know, 5, 7, 6 years, have you seen Canelo tired, not make weight, regardless of who he's fighting? He's a consummate professional. He's in shape. Doesn't matter who he's fighting. He'll be ready for Skull. He's not thinking ahead.
What do we expect, though, out of Canelo this time around? You know, the questions have been out there is he's risen up through the different weight divisions. Is his power still there? He knocked down a couple of people, Berlanga included, but didn't finish fights. What do we think?
He knocked down everybody in sport, actually.
Canelo doesn't have to be anything different outside of Canelo, right? Canelo's a winner. All he does is win. Why would he change anything?
DJ Khaled voice.
I held pads for him, man. Come on.
Shoulder bothering you a little bit, bro?
Well, he has a torn ligament.
It was torn. It was torn. The guy can punch. He doesn't have to be different. He's going to go in there and do his best, and that's it. Good night.
Yeah, I do think that obviously a lot of people are looking forward. Do we want to say a word potentially if Canelo is to get it done versus William Skull? That matchup, September, potentially Las Vegas, Allegiant Stadium. Bud Crawford, do we have any feelings?
Let's wait. Let's wait.
I hate that we're just jumping over Skull because
I know.
He is a champion.
Yeah.
You know, he is a champion. He is
undefeated.
He is Cuban.
Yeah.
You know, he is skillful. But we don't know if you're great until you have the opportunity to show that you're great. That's all. So we just don't know, Skull.
I mean, that's the biggest point of it. You don't know until you know. And sometimes you see experience, but experience doesn't tell the whole story.
That's
I mean,
right.
we just came out of a fight in London, a massive sold-out fight between Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn. That fight was incredible as well. Again, a massive thank you to the Ring Magazine, a massive thank you to Turki Al-Sheikh because it's back to back to back. Have you guys ever experienced anything like that?
Never.
No.
Never. I mean, I'm happy to be a part of it. I'm excited to what's to come in Times Square on Friday. I don't know what to expect, but I'm ready for it.
I grew up on Tuesday night fights, sometime on HBO. We're in the best era of boxing ever. There is literally fights every single weekend, and there's a broadcaster to show it, and DAZN seems like it's winning.
Back when you had the rigged HBO with the little wire in the back,
You're telling your business, Brock. You're telling your business. I'm going to shut him up before we keep going. It is just getting started. Listen, Adam, it's just getting started here on Fight Week, and coming up tomorrow, folks, you are getting the grand arrivals for Canelo versus Skull. That's 2 p.m. Eastern. And then our open workout right back here for Garcia Romero. That's 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But look at that. That's Times Square. A ring will be there. Presented by the Ring Magazine.
I can't believe it.
This Friday, folks, do not miss all of our events this weekend. For Wade Clemens, presented by the Ring. From Barack, we thank you all for being with us at the Grand Arrivals, and we will see you tomorrow.
Peace.
On DAZN Worldwide, Friday, May 2nd, 6 p.m. Eastern. Garcia versus Romero. King Rye returns in a history-making Times Square takeover. Featuring Haney versus Ramirez and Teofimo versus Barboza Jr. Witness a fight night never seen before on a knockout weekend of boxing. Get Garcia versus Romero Friday, May 2nd. Live exclusively on DAZN. Buy now at DAZN.com.